Okay, some technical problems, and we can start our lecture again. As I say, our lecture about peculiarities of the method examining of the blood system in children and hemogram features in different ages. Blood is making some important functions. First is a breathing function, second is a protective function, third is homeostatic function. Next one, it's a secure or support of hemostasis, and the fifth, it's a process of formation and maturation of the various blood cells is called hemopoiesis. You should remember three stages of the hemopoiesis of antenatal period. The first stage, it's embryonic. By second week to third month of gestation. In fetal life, hemopoiesis takes place in the liver by second month and spleen by third to sixth month. The second stage, extramedullary hemopoiesis. In fetal life, the organ of blood formation are the liver, spleen, marrow, and lymphatic tissue. The marrow starts functioning in the third stage only during the second half of the fetal life, to become finally developed by the time of birth. It's the principal site of the formation of the blood cells. The spleen and lymphatic tissues are secondary in respect. Peculiarities of the embryonic hematopoiesis. The first is early beginning. Second is sequence of the changes of organ and tissues. Yolk sac, liver, spleen, thymus, lymph nodes, bone marrow, which are the basis of blood formation. The third is changes of megaloblastic hematopoiesis to normoblastic. The fourth is constant increasing in fetus of erythrocytes, hemoglobin, and leukocytes. Since fourth year, red bone marrow is replaced by the yellow or fat bone marrow. Since pubertal period, hemopoiesis is presented only in cancellous tissue of vertebral bodies, ribs, sternum, tube bones, and pelvis bones. The mass of the marrow, of bone marrow, in newborn it's 40 grams, in adult it's 3 kilograms. The blood of normal newborn is characterized by high level of the hemoglobin. The second, it's erythrocytosis with the shift to the left. Nucleated erythrocytes are frequently observed in systematic blood. It's normoblast and reticulocytosis. The third, it's a poikilocytosis, it means a shape. And the next one is the anisocytosis, it means different sizes. Next one, it's leukocytosis with neutrophils. Nucleated erythrocytes is frequently observed in the systematic blood of normal newborn infants. High hemoglobin levels and erythrocyte in leukocyte counts with the shift to the left are present in the newborn babies. The blood of infants is usually poorer in erythrocytes and hemoglobin than that of adults, and richer in leukocytes. Hemoglobin is complex protein consisting of iron-containing heme groups of the protein part globin. A dynamic interaction between hem and globin gives hemoglobin its unique properties in the reversible transport of oxygen. Types of hemoglobin. First is embryonic hemoglobin, hemoglobin E, before 9 to 15th week in intrauterine period. Then the second, it's a fetal hemoglobin, it's hemoglobin F, the main hemoglobin of antenatal period. And the third is adult hemoglobin, hemoglobin A, from 16th week of antenatal development by birth. Hemoglobin A is 20 to 30% from total hemoglobin. After the 8th gestational week, hemoglobin F is the predominant hemoglobin. In the 6-month-old fetus, it constitutes 90% of the total hemoglobin. Then a gradual decline occurs so that at birth, hemoglobin F averages to 17 of the total. The synthesis of hemoglobin F decreases rapidly at the postnatal period, and by the 6 to 20 months of age, only some traces are present. The level of hemoglobin according to the age. Birth, it 180 to 220 gram per liter. During newborn period, hemoglobin is decreased. 1 month to 5 months, it 120 to 150 gram per liter. The 5 month to 5 years, it 120 to 140 grams per liter, not less than 110 gram per liter. Older than 5 years, it 130 to 150 gram per liter, not less than 120. Hemoglobin capillary blood levels are 20 to 30 gram per liter, higher than those of blood obtained to venipuncture. In peripheral blood smear, the doctor may see and determine first its blood cells quantity, size, shape. The second, presence of the immature cells. The third, morphologic changes of it means oval cell and teardrop forms, sickle cell, target cell, basophilic stippling. The first of the blood cells is erythrocytes. Newborn period, it's 5.4 to 7.2. Infant period to 14 years, it 4.2 to 4.8. Older than 14 years, for boys it 5.2, and for girls it 4.8. Color index. Neonatal period 0.9 to 1.2, and after 1 month it must be in 0.8 to 1.0. Reticulocyte count. Neonatal period it's 10 to 42%, infant period it's 5 to 10%, and after 1 year it's 2.5 to 5%. Erythrocyte sedimentation rate. Newborn it's 0 to 2 millimole hour. Infant it's 2 to 4 millimole per hour, and older the child it's 4 to 10 millimeter to hour. Thrombocyte count. It must be 150 to 30, or in the near of 450, doesn't depend on age and sex of child. The total leukocyte count, it must be 100%, and neonatal period it means 10 to 30. By the 10 to 15 days, the leukocytes count gradually drops to average of 10 to 20. Older children, it should be 6 to 9. Granulocyte production is very minor component of hemopoiesis in the fetus, even up through the 22nd and 24th week of gestation. On this basis, we can say the newborn infants who are delivered extremely prematurely would be at significant risk for serious bacterial infection. Differential leukocyte count. Neutrophils 1 to 4 days of life, 65%. 5 days of life, neutrophils 45%, lymphocytes 45%. It's the first physiological cross of leukocytes. The second days of life to 4 years, it's 25 to 38%. 5 years, it's a neutrophils 45%, lymphocyte 45%. It's a second physiological cross of leukocytes. 6 years, 65%. Physiological lymphocytosis is frequently observed in the systematic blood of normal children before age 5 years. This is probably due to the intensive activity of the lymphatic tissue. Neutrophils include first, myelocytes that are on normal blood. Junior cells can be tilled to 0.5%. Rod nucleus cells 3 to 5%. Segmented nucleus cells less quantity. Leukocyte formula may be shift with a determined shift index. Shift index ratio between unsegmented nucleus cells to segmented nucleus cells. At norm, it should be 0.06. If it's above of 0.06, it means shift to the left. There are some degrees of shift to the left. Slight of 0.08 to 0.15. Middle is if it's 0.15 to 0.3. Evidence is if 0.3 to 0.45, and obvious evidence more than 0.45. Shift to the right means decreased shift index lower to 0.05. Shift to the left should be regenerative of increased quantity of junior cells, rod nucleus cells, myelocytes, and background increased quantity of leukocytes. Degenerative shift to the left means increased quantity of junior cells, rod nucleus cells, myelocytes, but on background normal or decreased quantity of leukocytes. Shift of leukocytes formulas to the right. It's increased quantity of segmented nucleus cells and appear hypersegmented nucleus cells, but there are not rod nucleus cells, myelocyte, and junior cells. Lymphocytes. When the baby are 1 to 4 days of life, it should be 25%. A gradual increase in the number of lymphocytes begins in the first day of life, attaining 50 to 60% by the fifth day. 6 days of life to 4 years, 60 to 65%. 6 years is 25 to 30%. Monocytes 6 to 10%, eosinophils 1 to 4%, and basophils 0 to 2%. Algorithm of blood system examination include: first, of course, it's in complaints and analysis. The second is objective clinical examination. The third is laboratory diagnostics, and the fourth is a specific method examination. The main clinical symptoms of hematological system diseases are pallor and jaundice, fatigue, irritability, seizures, enlargement of liver, spleen, lymphatic nodules. Next one, petechia, ecchymosis, gastrointestinal hemorrhage, mucosal bleeding, bacteremia, cellulitis, pharyngitis, oral ulceration. Methods of clinical and paraclinical investigation. Clinical examination includes interrogation, it's a general examination, physical examination of skin, lymphatic nodules, liver, spleen, and bones. Paraclinical investigation, blood count, coagulogram, puncture of bone marrow, investigation of myelogram, puncture of lymphatic nodule, liver, spleen, rentgenography, and computer tomography. Coagulation screening test. This table is about a coagulation of the blood. The first is a bleeding time. It should be 3 to 9.5 minutes. Proton beam time, it should be 11 to 16 seconds. Patrial thromboplastin time activated, 25 to 38 seconds. Clot detection time begins in 30 to 16 minutes. And whole blood clot lysis, not clot lysis, in 24 hours. That's all about methods of examination of the blood system. Thank you for attention, and after 1 or 2 minutes we can start our third lecture. Thank you.